Hello, my loves. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. I'm so excited to be here. I love having a yap and recording this podcast for you. Let me know if this is something you like to listen to, hopefully on like your commute to work or as you're doing things that you do at home or whatever, or just sit and have a watch on YouTube and let's yap together. I hope that this is a comforting kind of your big sister on the internet giving you some advice, or just like holding space for acknowledging that I have been where you are at the moment. I have probably been in your position, and I have done some work around my nervous system and my identity so that I could be in the position I am in. And I want to help you change your fucking life. I want to help you get really good with your money, and not good strategy, not good at like, oh, when my pay comes in, I have 10% that goes to savings and this and that, but like good, like good on the inside. I'm going to go on a bit of a tangent here, but I had a chiropractor appointment this morning. I've been seeing a chiro who was recommended to me from my PT, and he's like a younger bloke. He's just been married, no kids, all the things. Anyway, and he was like, so you mentioned like you help women with like their finances. What does that look like? Like, how do you do that? Because is it like financial advice? Like, what do you do? And I was like, and I don't know, I think as I build this business, I've been sort of shying away from talking about the business in person. And so I really was like, oh, okay, this is an opportunity for me to embrace what I'm doing and have a yarn and, tell him what it's all about, even though he's definitely not my ideal customer. So I was like, it's like the identity and the nervous system stuff behind the money. So it's not like personal finance advice or anything like that. It's more around the money mindset, our imprinting from childhood, how that plays out in our relationship with money and our money stories, and then also nervous system regulation. And he was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like, had a few questions and examples with him and his friends and all the things. But it was so interesting to just talk about it and to reflect on so many people don't know this stuff. They don't know it, and it's literally life-changing. So I'm so excited to share it with you because it will, mark my words, it will change your fucking life. It has changed my life. My life is completely different to 4 years ago, and the only thing that really changed was my nervous system regulation and my identity. And so I'm excited to share this with you. So last episode, we talked about the nervous system responses, fight, flight, freeze, and fawn, and how they show up in the body, and also how they show up in terms of money, what that can look like when your nervous system is activated. And I want to again reiterate that there is a lot of hate for like the nervous system stuff, but more so a lot of hate online for like the ego, and remembering that the ego is your subconscious brain, which is also trying to keep you alive and safe. It's the same as our nervous system in the body. So like brain and body. And I want to say that your nervous system is designed, it's a very smart system designed to keep you alive. So we want to be really grateful that we have this, right? Because without our nervous system, if a bear wandered up to my window right now, I would like sit here and be like, oh, cool, a bear, and not get out of danger's way. Okay, so our ego and also our nervous system are really great technologies, I guess, or like really great systems that we have as humans. So we want to be grateful for them, but we want to work with them. Okay, and I think I want to sort of highlight the fact that I think in the past I've talked about calming the nervous system, and it's not really about calm, because when we think about calming the nervous system, we think about, well, I have to sit in a meditative state for 30 minutes, and I'm a fucking mum of 2 kids. I have ADHD. I can't meditate to save my life, okay? Meditation is not my go-to, and it doesn't have to be yours either. So I want to steer clear of saying like calming your nervous system, because it's not about being calm. That reminds me a lot of like the toxic positivity movement. And it's like, oh, you can't feel any bad emotions in inverted commas, because then you only attract bad things and whatever. And it's sort of similar with the you have to be in a calm state for like good things to happen, and that's just not accurate. There are plenty of people who don't even know how to regulate their nervous system who somehow end up in positive opportunities and whatever. But knowing how to work with your nervous system is definitely going to make life easier for you. So that's why we're here. So we're going to steer clear of calm, and we're going to say creating safety in the body, or regulating, okay? Regulating just means having it work with you, and dysregulating is like not working. So to regulate your nervous system means that it is within a tolerable range. So at the end of last episode, if you listened all the way through, thank you, God bless you, I love you. If you listened all the way through, I talked about a window of tolerance. And essentially what that means is anything that happens within that window of tolerance, and this can be in relationships, with money, at work, whatever, like you have a window of tolerance for everything. It's not just money, but whatever happens inside of that window of tolerance is going to sit okay, and you are not going to have that response in your nervous system. So you won't feel that fight, flight, freeze, or fawn if it is within your window of tolerance. So those are like predictable things. Your mortgage repayment that comes out every week or fortnight or month, you already know that's coming. So it's probably going to sit within your window of tolerance. But then things that sit outside of your window of tolerance are going to activate a nervous system response. And what I will say is it's not just about predictability, but it's also, they're all intertwined, right? So last night when I was putting my children to bed, we were talking about our internal cup and like capacity. My son had mentioned to me that sometimes I don't ask him questions about his game. He's created this game in his brain about dragons and elements, and which elements, go against each other and which ones kind of win. If you have earth and water versus fire, which one would win, and blah, blah, blah. And so he said, Mum, sometimes I feel like you don't care because you say cool, but you don't ask me any questions. And so I explained to him that my cup is almost at capacity pretty much every afternoon because I have ADHD, my brain works differently, I get very overstimulated very easily, and there's all these things that happen throughout the day. And I likened it to his day where he has to remember his swimming stuff for school this week, his guitar for guitar lessons, he is on the student rep council at his school, so he has to remember things for that. And so throughout the day, if something happens with friends, maybe he gets into a disagreement, or his maths work at school is really hard, all of that contributes to filling up his cup. And so some afternoons when I pick him up, his cup may be at full capacity. He snaps at his sister, he snaps at me, whatever. And that's because his cup is full. And so he doesn't have capacity to then do extra things. And so I was explaining that I also sometimes don't have the capacity to ask more questions. Maybe when we're driving in the car, I'm thinking about business or other things, and I've had a really big day. And so when he explains something to me, I don't have the capacity to ask questions. And then other times I do have the capacity and I will ask him questions. And so it's similar with your window of tolerance. Sometimes things are going to sit outside of your window of tolerance, and because they're outside of that window, they will then trigger a nervous system response where your brain and your body go, oh my God, this is too much. So I'm going to give you an example of a regulated response to something that sits outside of this window of tolerance, and a dysregulated response to something that sits outside of this window of tolerance. And keeping in mind that this is only one example, and last episode, if you didn't listen, go and have a listen. I talked about the 4 different responses: fight, flight, freeze, and fawn, and what they can look like, especially in terms of money. So let's talk about the dysregulated version first. I pull up into the driveway, open up my letterbox to check, and there is an envelope in there, and I'm pretty sure it's a bill because it looks like, you just know when something is like from a bank. So I open it up and it is a bill for $1,000, and I notice that my heart rate spikes, I get tight in the chest, and I put the bill probably shoved down the side of the center console of my car, never to be seen again. I only notice it when I'm spiraling at 3 a.m. and trying to figure out, holy shit, how am I going to pay this bill? And I don't do anything about it. That doesn't feel like I'm in control of that situation, right? It's very much like I had this bill, my nervous system was set off, and I avoided it, and that is it. There was no intentional decision making in that process. I just peace, I'm out. I can't deal with this right now. That's dysregulation, okay? So if you notice some of those similar behaviors, then your nervous system is probably dysregulated. A regulated response looks like I pull up in my car, I check the letterbox, I notice that there's a bill, looks like a bill, I open it, my heart rate spikes, my chest gets tight, I might have a funny feeling in the belly, and I stand and I breathe, I close my eyes and I breathe into this spot in my belly, and I repeat just in my head, I am safe, I am safe, I am safe. And then I go inside with my kids, I sit down, I look at the bill, it's for $1,000, and I think, okay, Well, I do know that actually we have until a certain date in 4 weeks to pay this. And so it's $250 a week. And I know that actually my husband worked overtime. So we will have the money to cover that. And I'm going into my banking app and I'm going to set up a scheduled payment to transfer 4 times 250 into this bill. And happy days, it is sorted. What you'll notice is that up until the point that I responded to this bill, the whole situation was the same. I still got the bill. I still had the nervous system response. My heart rate spiked. I got tight in the chest. That all still happened. As we regulate the nervous system doesn't just magically come offline. It doesn't just get to a point where your nervous system is like, oh, babe, you're earning $100,000 a month. You don't need me anymore. I'm just coming offline. That number might be a bit big for you guys. Let me reframe. You don't get to a point where you're bringing in 10, 20K a month and your nervous system goes, oh, 20K a month, mate, I don't need to be here anymore. You're never going to feel dysregulated ever again. Your nervous system is just like, chill. You're going to survive everything that ever comes at you because 20K a month is massive. That's not how it works. There are people who earn millions of dollars a month who still have nervous system responses because your body is not going to just give up that part of your body, okay? It's not. It's never going to go away magically. And so that's why we need to learn to work with it and to signal to your nervous system, I'm actually safe now. This is not, I know you got activated to keep me safe. That's cool. Thank you so much. But this is not a threat to me. This is just something different. It's outside my window of tolerance. It's outside of my normal, but I've got it. I can handle it. It's all good. So I want to give you a bit of a protocol to work with when this nervous system comes online, as it will for the rest of your life, because that is what it is designed to do, and you are a human being and you can't just magically switch it off. Sorry. So I want to give you a little protocol to work with, and if this resonates with you and you think, yes, this is the thing that I've been missing and I need, then I need you to come and join me in Regulated and Rich, which is opening on the 4th of the 4th, because we are going to not only use this protocol, but a few others to really get you creating some regulation and safety in your nervous system. And then we go a bit deeper into the identity work, which we're going to talk about next episode. But the protocol I'm going to give you for today is called SOS. It is the SOS protocol because, funnily enough, the nervous system response is an SOS signal to your body. And so we're going to respond to it with an SOS of our own. And this is a very intentional SOS. And so SOS stands for Sense, Open, Shift. Sense, Open, Shift, okay? Or you could say Sense, Online, Shift, but I don't know. Sense, Open, Shift sounds better for me. So first off is sense. And we're going to sense in our body. Your nervous system response is always a bodily response. It is not a thought. This is a different, think about your head as very separate to your body, even though they work together. Your brain is not part of the equation for nervous system regulation. So for the nervous system part of this, it is always a bodily sensation. And I will say, as you start this work, you will become more in tune with what is happening in your body. And this is actually something I teach my children. My 6 and my 9-year-old, we often will label the emotion that they're feeling. We will find where it is in the body. We will give it a name. We will give it a color. We will give it a size. And then we talk to it. So I do this exact process with my children, just in a very different way. But it is going to be a body sensation. So it might be a tightness in the chest. It could be your heart rate spike. It could be an uneasy feeling in your belly. For me, it's that belly feeling. I feel it in my chest. And as I work with it, it drops into my belly and then I can regulate it and move through it. It could be your feet. It could be in your hands. It could be anywhere. It is going to be a bodily sensation. So notice when these things happen, start to feel into, kind of pause and go, where am I feeling this in my body? And it will be a pattern of behavior. It will feel sort of the same each and every time. So the first thing we're going to do is sense it. And all you're going to do is feel it. That's it. You're going to go, okay, I'm feeling tightness in my chest. Perfect. The next thing you're going to do is, and play around with this because everyone's a little bit different, I want you to really feel into your intuition. I want you to trust. This is really hard because we've been programmed not to trust our intuition, but I want you to trust that whatever comes up for you is perfect, and that is exactly as it should be. Okay, trust your body, trust your brain. And so I go, okay, I can feel this in my chest and I want to know how I respond to this. So for me, it is deep breathing into the space that I'm feeling it in my body. So deep breathing into my chest. And I'm just going to say, I am safe. I am safe in my brain. I don't say it out loud. I am safe. I am safe. Maybe a thank you. Thank you to my nervous system. I am safe. Okay. And I just keep doing that until I can feel it drop into my belly. Once it drops into my belly, I know, okay, I'm moving through the emotion. All good. So the first step was sense it, find it in your body. The second step is to open up. I say open because I breathe. Okay, I breathe into it. It could be putting your heart on your chest. It could be a breathing. For nervous system regulation, a inhale through the nose and a longer exhale through the mouth is going to help signal calm to your body, help signal safety to the body. It could be, planting your feet in the grass, in the ground, and feeling into that, feeling the sensations. It could be a myriad of different things. So I want you to play around with it and feel like whatever. When you feel the response happen, when you sense it, you're then going to know, okay, what do I want to be doing? What does my body need right now? I need a hand on the chest. I need a deep belly breath. I need to sit in the grass. I need to go for a run. Like whatever it is, it could be something completely different. One of the things I want to highlight here is this is not like a big long practice. This is what we call a pattern interrupt. And so all we're trying to do is signal safety to the body. And depending on what response you have, that could be a different action. It could be movement. It could be stillness. It could be slowing down. It could be getting in tune with your body. It could be a whole range of different things. Then we're going to shift. So now you can lean into the financial decision. You can sit with, okay, I'm safe. My body feels safe. So I can look at this $1,000 bill and I can figure out what are the steps I need to take really logically with no emotion attached to it, no activation attached to it. What am I doing with this now? What are the steps I need to take? Is it scheduling, payments? Is it I need to call someone to figure out why this bill has come in the first place? Is it not even my bill and I need to return to sender? Is it that I need an extension on a payment plan? Whatever it is, you're then going to be able to take the action because you have created a sense of safety in your body. So the reason that all the financial advice isn't working, no matter what your budget looks like, you have this brand new budget template, you've been plugging in all your numbers and nothing seems to be changing, is because no one is talking you through how to create a sense of safety in your body. And when that logical part of your brain is cut off because you're in an activated nervous system response, you're not going to be able to think your way out of the problem. So you're going to continue to have those patterns of behavior show up where it's avoidance and shutting down, it's doom scrolling, it's getting a second job or a third job or a fourth job, it's doing the questionnaires for 2 cents a minute, it's doing more door dashing, it's going out and impulse spending because you feel out of control. Whatever your nervous system response is going to take over if you do not learn how to create safety in your body. So really quickly, I want to talk about what could be potential responses in opening to your nervous system in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. So here goes. I've got them listed down because I didn't want to fuck them up, basically. Okay, so in fight, which is your irritability, urgency, need for control, your nervous system is looking for somewhere for the energy to go that is not your financial situation. So it could be going for a walk, it could be a run, it could be shaking your hands, punching a pillow. And then after you do that thing where you've got the energy out, you then want to ground yourself. So that could be literally grounding yourself by feeling your feet on the ground. It could be sensing your chair if you're sitting down. It could be to feel your own weight, something to get your energy exerted out of your body and then come back to yourself. It could be a hand on the chest and a few deep breaths, whatever that is for you. You need to figure out what it is for you. Okay, flight is avoidance, busyness, and doing all the things. Remember, it's like that run, getting the second, third, fourth job, all the things. So Your system is trying to avoid or escape the discomfort through movement and distraction. So you're going to distract yourself out of this nervous system response. And you actually need to slow down and narrow your focus. So you can see they're different responses, right? And so not looking at the bill, but actually coming back to your into your body and slowing your energy. So you wouldn't be going for a run. You would be coming back to yourself, a few deep breaths. You might do a grounding technique of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5 things I can see, 4 things I can hear, 3 things I can smell. What is it? You get the drift. It could be doing some box breathing. It could be, any of those sorts of things to narrow your focus and then to shift and go into responding to the financial situation. Freeze is the one we talked about where it's like shutting down, numbing, dissociating, doom scrolling, avoiding everything, not checking your bank accounts, all those sorts of things. And your nervous system quietens to protect you. So it's going to block out everything to try and isolate you and protect you. And so you're not getting more overwhelmed by other things. So this could look like movement, but also like slow, gentle movement, not a run, not, fast paced. It might be going for a walk around the block. It could be doing some jumping jacks or some, going viral at the moment is the lymphatic kind of exercises that people are doing to get themselves going, like the hops and all those sorts of things. It could be to focus on like a small task at the home. Dance could be another one. So the biggest thing here is what your body wants to do is to kind of sit and freeze and numb out, and you want to do the opposite. So slow, gentle movement. I have found for me breathing and feeling into my body is the best way, but everyone is different. So if you notice that you are in a freeze response, you might want to try a gentle walk, going for a little bit of a swim, or some jumping jacks, something like that. Fawn is that people pleasing, keeping up with appearances, but not like a keeping up with the Joneses. Could look like undercharging, going into debt to keep up the facade that everything is okay. And your system is trying to stay safe through approval. So you're trying to make sure that whatever you're doing, you're getting the approval of the people around you. And what you need is a truth check and a movement. So instead of trying to keep the peace, you want to come back to yourself. So it's what would you do if no one was watching or no one was expecting anything from you? And again, it's best when this is not a thought process, but is a intuitive and a movement process. So something physical in the body, but that has an element of intuition attached to it, that you're kind of tuning in with, okay, what is it that my body needs right now in order to feel safe? And the more you do it, it's like a muscle. The more you do it, the easier this will become. It will become second nature to you. It will not be a struggle. But I do want you to really trust yourself as you do this. So I've sort of shared with you what my personal response is. It is definitely the breathing. I will sense the activation usually in my chest, tightness, and also heart rate spike. I will breathe into that and signal to myself, I am safe, thank you, I am safe. And I will feel that kind of energy drop into my belly. I will continue to breathe into it, and I will feel myself become regulated. That has taken time and repetition. So as I said, this is not a one and done thing. It's not something that's going to ever go away completely. At every new set point, you are going to experience this. In fact, fun fact, I have been going through this right now as we speak because I have left my comfortability of my 9 to 5, the predictability of the income that I was getting at that job, to go all in on my business, which is new and is outside my window of tolerance. And so I am literally going through these processes myself as we communicate about them on here and on social media. So don't think that this ever stops and goes away. And I know as soon as I reach for 100K months, this will come up again. As soon as my business is making multi-million dollars a year, this will come up again. And so It's not a one and done thing, but it is a muscle that you can build. And so each time it does come up, it gets a little bit easier to go, okay, I can move through this and I have evidence that this works. And so I'm going to continue to be there and show up for my body and regulate, right? And come back and show her safety. The other thing is it becomes more automatic. So in the beginning, it can be a bit of a process of thinking about, okay, where am I feeling this in my body? Going through the motions, trying to remember, oh, that's right, we're not reacting in the same way anymore. We're changing what we're doing and we're creating safety. But as you do it more and more and more, it actually becomes just an automatic response. And so your body will start to respond in this way when it feels activated all on its own, because you are teaching it to do that. So I really hope this has been helpful, and that you are going to be able to, in the coming week, recognize, sense when that nervous system response shows up. You're going to be able to open up and come back to yourself either through movement, slow movement, fast movement, breathing, calm, focus, whatever it is that your body needs. And then after you create safety in your body, respond to whatever situation is at hand, whether that be a bill that comes in, a new level of income, an opportunity for work, whatever it might be. And build that muscle slowly. I really want you to know that it is building up a muscle and an automatic response slowly, piece by piece over time. I want you to find your anchor, and I want you also to come and join us inside Regulated and Rich, which is my group online coaching program, because we're going to use the SOS protocol and other tools and elements to really create safety in the body, and then start to work on the identity that needs to be there under everything else, so that your thoughts, your behaviors, your feelings, your patterns, they become automatic too, and they become aligned with what it is that you want in life, because you can truly create the life that you want to be living. I am living proof of that, in the sense that I never ever really thought that I would be able to quit my 9 to 5 and go all in on my business. I definitely didn't think I'd be able to do it with the support of my husband. And here I am, just a few short years after paying groceries and doing the 3 a.m. mental gymnastics and the calculator out in the grocery store, just going all in and doing the things and still living a life I love, whilst building up my dreams and having the full support of my husband, that used to say things like, no, you have to be bringing in a full-time income. Like literally just 6 months ago was saying to me, sure, you can quit your job when your business is making your full-time income. Newsflash, it's not yet. And here we are. So I know 100% that you can create the life that you want, because I have been there, done that, and I'm still working towards it, but I am steps ahead of where I wanted to be even just last year. So you might have the pretty budget and the new budget planner, and you might have the goals and the aspirations, and you might be trying your absolute best to make it work. But truly, without the nervous system regulation and without the identity work, it is like pushing shit uphill and just trying and seemingly getting nowhere. So I really invite you to sit with this episode, feel into your nervous system response and how you're going to open to it, so that you can shift some of your patterns of behavior. But then also invite you to come and join us in Regulated and Rich, where we dive deep into this work and get your nervous system starting to feel safe. We're expanding your window of tolerance. We're working on the identity behind everything, so that you don't have to feel out of control. You don't have to feel like you are a victim to the situation around you. You don't have to feel super activated every time a bill rocks up. You just know with certainty that no matter what shows up in your inbox or your mail or on your phone or in your banking app, that you're going to have the skills, the tools to deal with it, and you get to create the life of your fucking dreams. So I am so excited for this, and thank you so much for joining me. I truly love and appreciate every single one of you, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.